Once, the Buddha was born as a prince, named Mahasattva in a kingdom of India. He had a compassionate heart and a generous spirit, and he often helped the poor and the needy. One day, he decided to leave his palace and go to the forest to practice meditation and seek enlightenment. He took with him his 2 brothers and his charioteer. As they were walking in the forest, they came across a cliff where they saw a sight that moved them deeply. There was a tigress lying on the ground, weak and starving. She had given birth to 3 cubs, but she had no milk to feed them. Mahasattva felt a great pity for the tigress and her cubs. He thought to himself, "This tigress is suffering so much, and she is about to commit a terrible sin. If I do not help her, she will die of hunger and her cubs will die too. But if I give her my own flesh and blood, she will live and her cubs will live too. And I will also gain great merit and wisdom by sacrificing my life for the sake of others." He then turned to his brothers and his charioteer and said, "My dear friends, I have decided to give my life to this tigress and her cubs. Please do not try to stop me or follow me. This is my own choice and my own duty. Go back to the palace and tell my father and mother that I have gone to the heaven of the gods." His brothers and his charioteer were shocked and tried to dissuade him from his plan. They said, "Prince, you are crazy. How can you throw away your precious life for a wild beast? You are the heir to the throne and the hope of the kingdom. You have a loving family and a bright future. Do not do this foolish thing. Come back with us and live happily." But Mahasattva was firm and resolute. He said, "My dear friends, do not worry about me. I am not crazy, nor am I foolish. I am doing this out of compassion and wisdom. I know that life is impermanent and that death is inevitable. I know that the body is just a vessel and that the spirit is eternal. I know that the highest happiness is to give, and the highest virtue is to love. I know that by giving my life to this tigress and her cubs, I am saving 4 lives and creating 4 bonds of gratitude. I know that by doing this, I am fulfilling my purpose and attaining my goal. I know that by doing this, I am following the example of the Buddha and becoming a Buddha myself." He then embraced his brothers and his charioteer and bid them farewell. He walked to the edge of the cliff and jumped down, landing near the tigress. He then cut his throat with a sharp knife and offered his flesh and blood to the tigress. The tigress, sensing the smell of fresh meat, woke up and saw the prince lying on the ground, bleeding and dying. She was amazed and grateful, and she quickly devoured the prince's body, leaving only his bones. She then fed her cubs with her milk, which was now abundant and nourishing. She and her cubs regained their strength and health, and they lived happily in the forest. Meanwhile, the brothers and the charioteer returned to the palace and told the king and the queen what had happened. The king and the queen were grief-stricken and mourned for their son. They ordered a search party to find his remains and bring them back. They also ordered a grand funeral and a memorial service for him. They honored him as a hero and a saint, and they praised him as a Buddha. The story of the hungry tigress is one of the most famous and popular stories of the Buddha's previous lives. It is a story of giving and virtue, of compassion and wisdom, of sacrifice and enlightenment. It is a story that teaches us the value of life and the power of love. It is a story that inspires us to be kind and generous, to be brave and noble, to be humble and grateful, to be wise and enlightened. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.